Hi, welcome to Cosmic Hour. My name is Sasha Sheldon,
I'm Colin Spencer.
and today we are going to talk about Neptune, this very mysterious, dreamy, confusing planet.
Very confusing.
Oh, Lord. And it's been extremely confusing while it's been in Pisces, I'll tell you that. Oh, I'm excited though that it's not there anymore.
Oh man, who you
Personally.
telling? Who you telling?
Yeah, I can't wait to hear about, especially you, yeah, your relationship with this energy. You have a way more personal and deeper relationship to it as far as it being such a prominent player in your birth chart. But yeah, I guess first off, like what are those main like qualities that you've found with Neptune in all your studies and some of its, yeah, just like biggest lessons too that it's here to reflect back to us or make us sit with?
So, Neptune, I'm a Pisces rising, so the dominant planet in my chart, like the traditional ruler of Pisces is Jupiter, but the modern ruler is Neptune, and I have always identified a lot more with Neptune as the ruler
Same.
of my chart than with Jupiter. And
Yeah.
but I do think that like I was saying in the last episode, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto are kind of extensions of some of the traditional planets. And I think I really do view Neptune as an extension of Jupiter. Like, I think Neptune's kind of like Jupiter with a distortion pedal, I think.
Yeah, okay. I like that.
Where like Jupiter rules over uh like luck and generosity and philosophy, higher knowledge, good fortune, and perspective, and whereas Neptune is it's like that perspective also, but it's um, it's more elusive and Jupiter also ruling Sagittarius, which is like supposed to be like good fortune, whereas the Pisces house in someone's chart, like the 12th house, that's often associated with like misfortune.
Yeah. Karma. Yeah.
Right. And so, but yeah, Pisces in general and Neptune, because Neptune carries a lot more of the Piscean qualities than Jupiter does.
Totally.
Like it's more sacrificial, it's rehabilitative, it's self-deceptive, it's careless, it's forgetful, it's like indulgent, I suppose, but like Jupiter is a little bit more indulgent, but Pisces is more indulgent in a way that's like
Escapism.
yes, exactly. But the
Yeah.
indulgence is still there.
Yeah. Because addiction is very, yeah, Piscean.
Yeah, so like Pisces, like I was saying, I think Neptune is like it's like Jupiter with a distortion pedal. And in mundane astrology, it rules over like hospitals, jails, mental hospitals, vet offices, and like anywhere, Neptune and Pisces are very compassionate and they're nurturing and want to take care of others, take care of those that are less fortunate, and the places in mundane astrology that allows that compassion to happen, those are the places that are ruled by Pisces, like rehabs and stuff, and those liminal spaces in between one life and the next.
Yeah.
So that's
And now, what is your view, just like for the collective, since we just left uh, Neptune and Pisces for the past 14 years or so? Yeah, what do you find really was reflected back collectively? And I'd be curious, yeah, like your personal journey as well.
I think, I think Neptune being in Pisces, it especially coinciding with like the internet and everything, and how the internet has taken off. I think it has given a lot of different religions and spiritual practices to be able to flourish and kind of find a place for themselves. Like a lot of religions that are not like some of them considered some of the major religions have really taken a foothold in society because they've been able to be elevated to a platform where they have more exposure. And
Yeah.
then, like, when it comes to mental health and addiction studies and like healthcare studies in general, the strides that have been made in those fields since like 2014 when Neptune first entered Pisces, those have made like remarkable strides in progress. I had with my own experience with mental health, I had been hired as a counselor when a few years back. I mean, it would have been actually around a little bit before Neptune entered Pisces. I think it was around that time I had been
Okay.
hired as a counselor, and
A while ago.
I had been hired as a counselor originally, but at that time there was a like peer support really started becoming a thing where and like recovery coaches, like when somebody had like a severe mental disorder, if they showed like substantial signs of recovery, they were like it used to be where it was treated as a liability in a professional setting, but they have since like created positions where like now it's viewed as a strength, and people are able to use their personal experience to connect with clients and things like that. And like it wasn't even that long ago when people with like depression or psychosis were being treated with like shock therapy and shit like
Yeah.
that. It's just like
Yeah.
in super inhumane ways. Like it wasn't even that long ago, but like
Right.
since Neptune has moved into Pisces, like there has been some serious progress in terms of like humane treatment and what is the best way to meet people who are suffering where they're at, and like that expands to I mean even I do think that one of the ways that Neptune has kind of hurt the collective in a way is, or not necessarily hurt, but like one of the
Oh, but yeah, it's
downsides.
shadow. Yeah.
Yeah, a shadow side of Neptune on the collective being in Pisces is a lot of people have the collective has kind of had a really big problem with not taking accountability for being in the positions that we're in. And
Any of the like victim or martyrdom feels also very Piscean,
right, it absolutely is.
like shadow of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, when you look at like a lot of revolutionaries or like people that uh, take extreme action in the sake of activism, a lot of the
Mm,
time, a lot of the time there are things where, and I mean, taking political action and stuff like that. That's very Aquarian, but
hmm.
it's
But in the sake
what.
of religion or their belief system.
Yeah, when you see it carried out in a way that's for the sake of compassion or in an emotional way, you do see a lot of self-sacrifice, like people lighting
Yeah.
themselves on fire and stuff like
Yeah.
that, or like laying down in the road in like areas of like busy traffic. Like
Yeah.
that's a very
Piscean.
yes, that's a very Piscean form of protest.
Yeah. Hmm.
It's very compassionate, self-sacrificial,
Yeah.
and so I don't know.
No, I agree. Yeah.
But it's not just, I don't know. There have been there's been a massive focus on the ways that people care for each other, like self-care,
I would say like
bound.
self-help blew up. Like, I
Yes,
mean, the amount of books that have been launched and
right.
people talking about it in the podcast with those themes and like therapy became so normalized. I feel it like everyone has
Yes,
a therapist now. It's just like,
right. Like therapy became cool.
yeah, totally. It's like if
Like,
you don't have one, what's wrong with you?
right,
Where it used to be like such a shameful, like, oh my God, you have a therapist? That's for like crazy people.
right. And so
And
like I
that's
think
beautiful.
it's just been really good for destigmatizing a lot of things that were previously incredibly stigmatized.
Yeah, and I think when I was even in the records, it was like speaking to some of that of it was here to hopefully like awaken a lot of people to what needed to
Hmm.
be addressed within them, like to really start doing the deeper healing and inner work, and like really also waking up the feminine, especially on the planet.
Right,
And yeah, like what's really needed to be healed, not just individually, but also the planet itself, like as a collective, and those deeper, also feminine wounds as well. But yeah, like you were speaking to some of the shadow, yeah, like showing where people definitely can get lost or what happens when they believe in something too much, like give their power over to a
right,
belief system or like a guru, or just pouring like too much of their energy into that like one thing where it's, really like getting lost in the sauce, so they're not in their body, because Pisces Neptune can also be like very much into like dissociating constantly. So it's just like
right,
people, if you're like checking out too much or too much of meditating or like living in the ethereal and getting lost in that and forgetting to like come back in your body, come back to earth, like okay, or you can learn these things, but how are you going to ground it and root it into everyday practice, which is where I think it turning into Neptune into Aries is going to be a big piece of that.
right,
Like, okay, you say you do these things, like, how about stop talking about it and show me, like, do the thing, like, lead by example. Yeah, and like really actually embodying that wisdom or that healing that we've been doing while it was in Pisces.
hmm,
And then yeah, obviously like the stuff around like leaky boundaries and toxic relationships. I think a lot of us are like we're working through that stuff with Neptune and Pisces, and all of those wounds again around yeah like self-sacrificing or being the healer for everyone or the fixer, the saver complex, needing to be needed
right.
by others. So like those deeper wounds that a lot of us have, or like needing to belong to someone or something in a
Right.
more like desperate sense, because
Like,
maybe never feeling like you did to a family. So it's like looking for it in other places or people,
mhm.
which can be beautiful, but again, like taken too far, then it gets toxic.
Right.
So, like, where discernment can be hard with Neptune because it can be so confusing. It can have those rose-colored glasses and like not seeing people or things clearly. And yeah, there is that like mystery or like murky water. So it's like you just can't really like see anything clearly, and that is
Mhm.
disorienting with things. What were else? I think that was it, like some of the yeah main things I clocked, but it seemed like the Neptune in general is wanting to hold that more like one consciousness piece, like the beauty of spirituality and how even the mundane can also be magical and
Right.
spiritual to like remind us of those qualities in life, and that like spirit is in all things and within us. Like again, like not having to, we don't have to go so far outside of ourselves. Like it's so close that we forget. And like, yeah, just the sacredness in all things, and the importance of envisioning and like dreaming, and our relationship even to like dream work itself, and how that's also such a powerful spiritual tool to use, or just like our intuition and how our dreams tell us so much
Right.
about ourselves, about our life, or like warn us about things, or we learn things that we buried within ourselves through dream time. Like there's so many things that you can do with dream time, whether it's actual like dreaming when you're asleep, but it was speaking to like actually allowing yourself to have dreams for your life or for the collective. Yeah, so those are just some of the pieces I got for that. But yeah, back to your Pisces rising.
Right.
So Neptune, so rising, ascendant are the same thing, one and the same.
Hmm.
So Neptune being on your ascendant for such a long time.
Oh man.
Like, what? And you said before we got on this call, like you've been really thinking a lot about Neptune all day or last couple days, like recently. So
I
yeah, like what
have.
is your whole take, especially again now that it's just recently left, so it's kind of helping to create the space for you to really sit with all of that,
Right.
have more
So
clarity.
I think so I've been thinking about Pisces and Neptune a little bit more lately, and thinking about it as the 12th house. Because right now it is Pisces season. We're in Pisces season now.
What, and Mercury and Venus are in Pisces. It's
Yep.
very, yeah.
Yeah, so but and like it's the final sign of the zodiac. I mean that's every planet that or the planets that are in Pisces are about to move into Aries. You know, Neptune's already moved into Aries, same with Saturn. And you know they're up for a new cycle, and like s- while I'm here with all of this stuff in Pisces and kind of like reflecting on where Neptune has been for the last while, it's like it's really had me reflecting on my journey throughout the the rest of the signs. Like thinking back to uh, you know what things were like. I mean, I haven't ever had Neptune in my first house, or well, I have, but I haven't ever had it in like my second or my third house. So because it takes so long
Right.
to make a revolution, but anytime
Yeah.
a sign moves through somebody's first house, that person has like kind of a glow up in terms of a relation with that sign. That sign like changes them, and that the 12th house where it sits is a period of where you should be reflecting on where you've been. Like you look back and all those lessons that you've accumulated from since the beginning,
14
they
years ago.
yeah, they become realized as like, oh, now that I'm here, like okay, I get it now. And it was like always in my face.
Which, can you be more specific or as much as you
Uh,
want to?
yeah, I guess like I said, when Neptune first moved into my first house, I was a counselor at that time, and I did that for like 3 years, and I ran off and I moved away, and I like really got into self-medicating and addiction, and like I've been touring around all over the place, like just indulging in hedonism and
Yeah.
like working a bunch of like jobs that I didn't have any business being at, like running around with like partners and like shady friends that like I didn't have any business being around. And
So kind of that getting lost in addiction. So that Piscean, Neptunian, and then like lost in partnership,
yeah,
lost in
absolutely.
community kind of thing. Like, so your identity kind of dissolved
It did. It
in
completely
those
dissolved.
things. Yeah.
But now it's moving out of my first house, and lo and behold, I am back in the mental health field, and I'm
Sober.
sober,
Yay.
and there's the answer was right there the whole time when I first got in. So like it just took me for a dive for what felt like no reason. Well, looking back, I know that there were so many reasons for it, and
So many lessons in going through those things that you can
right,
have, like compassion and empathy for others that you guide. I mean, it's like, it's hard, I think, to be taught those things. Like by
right,
reading a book, it's like, oh, to have that lived experience and for it to be like in your cells now and to be able to speak from that place is so much more powerful.
yeah, and like I mean, I consider the zodiac from Aries to Pisces to be like the hero's journey of the sun or like of any other planet that goes through
Yeah.
that. And like, how many heroes' journeys of that stuff did I have to go through in order to arrive at the same conclusion from when Neptune first moved in there? Like, I had it right the first time. So, um,
Yeah,
and
usually our first inkling or intuitive hit usually is, yeah. And then we're like, I don't know. Is
right.
it? Like,
Yeah, like
yeah.
how many times you have to pass go and collect $200, you know? So, I guess I guess that's where I'm sitting at with Neptune right now as it is finally out of my first house. And yeah, and like yeah. That's definitely where I'm at with it right now. Cause I mean I'm still kind of feeling in like a little bit of a box, I guess.
Yeah, it doesn't happen overnight. Like,
No, no, like I don't know. I guess I think about it like this. Aries is a fire sign, right? And Neptune just moved in there, and I think it's going to take a minute for that water to evaporate. Is what I mean.
Yeah, totally. But
But
Aries is fast, so maybe not too long.
right. Yeah, I mean it probably won't take too long, I'm sure. But
She's so spicy. Yeah.
I guess for the time being, the fog is it's dispersing
Yeah,
for
it's
for sure.
lifting, but
But
yeah.
it's been there for a long time. It's not gonna like since what was it, 2014? Yeah, 2014 is how long Neptune has been or was in Pisces. Like that stuff doesn't just clear up
No.
overnight, but
No.
but
Especially too,
yeah,
it's like again back to Pisces 12th house, like all those it's such a like karmically heavy, soupy place to
right.
be. And like those lessons, it's like there's a lot of density in that. And so yeah, it'll
Yeah.
take a bit to digest.
Yeah, and I mean I had like Neptune in my natal chart. It's in my 11th house in a conjunction with Uranus. Um and so like I don't know, those are very bizarre people to be involved in communities with and to be friends with like those are to have Neptunian and Uranian uh influence in an 11th house like that can create a lot of like really deceptive like being involved in like deceptive like friendships and like
Hmm.
relationships and stuff like that or like being involved in rehabilitative communities. um
Yeah. Yeah, and that's definitely another of the big one. I don't know if I said that or not, but yeah, Neptune being in Pisces was again back to those unhealthy, toxic relationships. Yeah, so it's like anything that was kind of deceptive, manipulative,
right, even
yeah,
reckless.
like narcissism, gaslighting, like so all that stuff. It could have either been shown those parts, some of those parts inside of yourself, or just like being around a lot of people, yeah, who like did that to you,
Hmm.
especially at that time. Which, yeah, I can definitely, yeah, my own personal, like, I mean, yeah, Neptune and Pisces. So that was like the early stages of also like getting married,
Hmm.
and all of that, like, to a Pisces.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And he, yeah, very much lived in those shadowy Piscean trait, like he alcoholic, really poor mental emotional health, like not able to
Hmm.
communicate in a stable way. Yeah, it could be all over the place. Never know who I was gonna get. Had to like I had to walk on eggshells a lot of the time in that relationship. So there was a way of him kind of being manipulative and deceptive, but then like me also doing that to myself to obviously keep myself
Hmm.
in that relationship, and like the mental gymnastics I had to do to like get married to someone where I already knew like he had all these issues, being like, no, it'll get better, like things will change. Like,
Right. Oh,
like
yeah,
something.
you had that was in your seventh house, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
Pisces is my
man.
seventh. And natally, I have Lilith there and
Oh
Pallas Athena.
wow.
So,
Okay.
and yeah, so it's like still also like just lying to myself that things will get better, or that I could fix and save him. So also,
Right.
yeah, me very much doing like the self-sacrificing and trying to keep him healthy and stable, finding ways to get him sober,
Hmm.
or to get help, like, and I'm Virgo rising. So so it's very much that Virgo Piscean dynamic playing out in our relationship.
Oh, that's interesting. You have so him being Pisces, that would be that's a 10th house relationship to Gemini. Um, so it makes sense that you would feel some kind of like responsibility over him, or like you need to like I don't want to say like parent him, um but like
Yeah, it's
kind
weird. That one didn't feel as much as parenting as, oh God, I hope the ex doesn't hear this. But I did very much feel parenting of the ex-boyfriend after him. So I was still like playing out those Neptune Pisces dynamics.
right.
But yeah, sorry, what were you gonna say, like with the 10th house responsibility?
Oh, just like I don't know, just like I don't know, having to be responsible over somebody else in that kind of relationship. Just because like I don't know, like 10th house carries a lot of that stuff, like the management.
Yeah. And it's weird. And I know he felt the same with me as well, because like he was the breadwinner, like worked so hard. And, and obviously we had great connections in other ways. It wasn't nothing is all bad.
Right.
We were such a great creative team. So very also Piscean, Neptunian, like our own production company. So like we were amazing at collaborating and creating together was like so potent in our dynamic.
Yeah, I do think I remember you saying that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was great and very like again 10th house like having a business kind of together.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So we definitely took on, but in very different ways, I think feeling responsible for the other. But I guess in some ways, like partnership that happens, even in healthy ones.
Right. To some extent or another.
Yeah. And then, yeah, obviously, like it was still in there when he took his life, and I asked for a separation just a couple months like before that happened, because me realizing the toxicity and the addiction and stuff, and me like wanting to hold him back to you said like accountability. I was like, you have to do this. Like this
Yeah.
isn't working. Like I can't do this anymore. Like you have to get help. You have to get clean. I want you to get a therapist. I'm going to get my own therapist. Like, I also know I have my own work to do, so it's like I wasn't putting it all on him.
Right.
I was like, we created this unhealthy dynamic together. Like, so yeah, like starting that journey. And then I just continued even after he left the earth. And then I got into another very kind of Piscean someone, his moon and Mercury are in the 12th house. The ex-boyfriend.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And looking at his chart, he also has a lot of Neptune aspects. So he still has very like watery elements to him. So he also very that deceptive, manipulative, brilliant storyteller, like truly a
Yeah.
genius at storytelling, like being a writer, public speaking, being on stage, an actor, like genius. And him and I would have many conversations, and where he just didn't know how to be responsible with that superpower. So it
Right.
leaked into every area of his life. So meaning like he would tell himself stories and didn't know that he's really telling himself stories. He believed them so much. And then he would be telling me stories. And so like not being able to really see things clearly and constantly having to be kind of on edge to be like, that's not true.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
that sounds made up. And yeah, so it was very murky again, murky, manipulative, deceptive in that way. And then he had his, I would not call him an addict by any means, but definitely loved to escape though.
Yeah.
In many like ways. Not always comfortable like being in his body for other reasons too. But yeah, so I still was very much in that Pisces seventh house murky, and I felt very responsible for him. Like it was like I was taking care of everything financially in that relationship and trying to keep it together, like hold it together in that way. So that's like how I felt, very responsible for him. And also like I became too much of a mother to be like, you need to do this. Have you tried this
Right.
yet? Like with his career, like maybe you need to do this. I'll help you find a job. I'll help you do this thing. Or like, it's time you get a therapist. Like, you know.
Right.
So just me doing all those, my own toxic behaviors of playing out that role in a relationship, to the point then where I finally was like disgusted with myself showing up that way. I'm like, ooh, I don't want to be this way. Like I have
Right. You're just like, what am I doing?
yeah. It's like, again, this is not working. And then yeah, I had to get out of that because I think I had to be so disgusted with showing up in that way, and I learned it from like all avenues, because it was so one way with Sean, and then it was so one way with the ex-boyfriend. And then yeah, I finally like got out of it, and then it's just been towards the end like ending my grief with Sean. Like last year, like 2025 was such a big year of like, I finished all the last massive layers of that grief and trauma with Sean and his death. Like
Right.
it felt in a huge, very karmic, cosmic way. And then the very tail end, the last month or so, been grieving the family I thought I was going to have with the ex-boyfriend and those kids that I created a very deep like soul connection with, and did so much work on myself to like prepare for motherhood and all
Right.
my own like wounds. And so like releasing and grieving that part that I was kind of lying to myself, thinking I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't need to sit with that part of
Right. No, I'm just fine.
I'm okay. I'm like, I'm not okay. Um, so yeah, those energetic degrees of Neptune and Pisces, I was like, oh, I have to sit with this part. I didn't sit
Yeah.
with it. So that was like the end of me kind of wrapping up any grief that was maybe still tied to the more previous relationship. But it really more so felt like the kids. And just like kind of the dream that I had of us having like a family together, not as much him, you know? I don't know if that makes sense, but
No, it does.
yeah, so that's kind of been my journey with Pisces seventh house and like what Neptune's kind of made me. And then obviously too, I think
Wow.
that was also a big player, like with Uranus in my ninth, Neptune, you know, with all the spiritual work
Yeah.
that I did in my own spiritual awakening, and all that, and coming into my healing gifts and all that stuff. I mean, that also is a really big player in all the psychic things coming back online for me, because Pisces also is like extremely psychic, and having Lilith in Pisces is a very like psychic placement as well. So I think she really
Yeah.
made herself known at
Oh,
at
definitely.
that time with Neptune. Like, so yeah, that was Neptune in Pisces for me.
So next, you're gonna have Neptune in your eighth, and I'm gonna have Neptune in my second. Which,
Okay.
and
Oh,
so that will,
our money houses.
yeah, our money
We both,
houses.
yeah,
Can't wait.
we're each other's polarity.
Yeah.
Um,
I always forget that we're each other's polarity. That's
yeah,
crazy.
because you're Pisces rising, I'm Virgo rising, so we are, yeah, yep.
So I guess what I'm what I'm expecting from uh, Neptune being in my second is,
Mm-hmm.
even though I'm gonna have Saturn there as well, I think Neptune in the second is probably going to be a lot more charitable in terms of money, or possibly even careless about it, or you know, I get kind of the way I kind of am like intuitively thinking of it is like connecting it to like the money isn't everything kind of mindset.
Mm.
Because I mean, I've recently taken on a second job in a
Mm-hmm.
back in the mental health field,
Yeah.
or not a second job. Did I say second job?
It's okay. Well, I mean, astrology and,
Yeah,
doing
a second
both.
house.
Yeah.
I've recently taken on a part-time job in
Mm-hmm.
mental health field again, and
Yeah.
it's like making significantly less money than I was making before,
Mm-hmm.
and then leaning on astrology stuff a lot more,
Yeah.
and so there's the aspects of it with it being Aries and my second house and Saturn being there, and there's a dream that I'm taking action to build.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also I think there is a I don't know, there's a willingness to be sacrificial about my money. Like I'm making money off of being like somebody who's in a rehabilitative position,
Mm-hmm.
and like applying myself to towards the assistance of others.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think that I do think that I mean, I'm going to be at risk of a lot more financial deception for sure,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to be at risk of uh you know probably, I would say there's definitely some health expenses probably on the horizon, like
Oh.
probably looking at spending some money on healthcare, or
Hmm.
or like spending money on my mental health, maybe even like new medication or something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe I have a chronic condition that develops or something, and I need to like spend money on that for the next, what, 11 years or something. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. But like I don't know. I have some expectations about Pisces or
Neptune.
Neptune in Pisces, but I think a lot of it is going to be
Or Neptune and Aries. Yeah.
yeah, Neptune and Aries. I think a lot of it is going to be a very big mindset of like, I'm building this, but money isn't everything, sort of thing.
Mm. Okay. And then what do you think as far as the collective with Neptune going into Aries?
A lot of
That said it all,
I
folks.
think a lot of deception in the way that we interface with the world. Like, in the last episode we were talking
Mm.
about AI, and there's with the whole thing that's happened, with say with the Epstein files, for example. Like
Hmm.
that's a massive secret that's come out, but there's also a lot of data that's being suppressed. Like there's a lot of
Yeah.
reports that about like a lot of job reports that aren't really being released
Mm-hmm.
anymore, and there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the Department of Health and Human Services is under new management, and so now the food pyramids being rebuilt, and like in terms of nutrition.
Mm.
So like a lot of the information that we are taking in on a regular basis from sources that have always, like, we've always relied on, the World Health Organization, like the US has withdrawn from that. So a lot of health information in particular is not being communicated to the public anymore. So there's, whether it be on social media or it's coming from the news, or and like even over the last, like, who knows how long, really I think it started taking off in 2020 with when conspiracy theories really started to
Mm.
take off.
Hmm.
I think with that, and I'm not saying that conspiracy theories are, like, there's anything wrong with them. Like, a lot
No,
of
and
them
some
are
of them
right.
ended up, yeah, exactly.
A lot of
They
them are right,
eventually have
and
been proven to be right. Yeah,
a lot
so
of them have been proven to be right for
yeah,
sure. Like,
yeah,
I'm not dogging conspiracy theories. All I'm
right.
saying is there is a lot of, conspiracy theories in general are very Sagittarian.
Mm.
There's a lot of dots that are being connected, but I mean, it's Jupiter and it's Pisces. It's hidden information.
Yeah.
It's information that is not being confirmed by sources because it's supposed to be hidden information. And which
Mm-hmm.
leads a lot of people to draw their own conclusions about things. And,
Mm-hmm.
you know, people playing telephone and like, oh, I heard this. Oh, I heard this. And then lines get crossed. And so, like, when you're playing telephone, a lot of information can't be necessarily relied on, especially if that information is coming from somewhere up top that has already proven to be unreliable.
Yeah.
And so, like, between that and now we can't trust our eyes anymore because with
Mm-hmm.
AI videos, like the amount of identity theft and deep fakes that are coming out with Neptune and Pisces, or Neptune and Aries in the first house, or with first house associations.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the way humanity is interfacing with the world now, the only way that it actually can be trusted is in direct communication with each other in person. We can't trust statistics anymore. We can't trust the news anymore. We can't trust, like, there's a lot of information that has, like, it's been rerouted and
Mm-hmm.
is being filtered because of hierarchies that control the information. And so I guess with that being said, yeah,
So it's like,
the
so are you speaking to like Neptune being in Aries? So like those who are in power at top, still kind of like trying to be like deceptive
oh,
to the rest of
absolutely.
us because they're like, I know better, I'm more in power. Because yeah, Aries would, they definitely, a part of them I feel like loves being in power.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, yeah, I mean, all I'm really saying is that the information does not have the same safeguards that it used to have. And so because of that, it most information that we take in should be taken with a grain of salt now.
Oh yeah.
Because, like, it's pretty, the education spaces are in pretty rough shape. Like, even like,
I mean, that's a system that's needed to crumble too for a long time. I mean, it'll.
oh my God, yeah.
So.
It's been bad, and like now now like all these universities have like lost their funding too. And so yeah, even yeah, the
Interesting.
the way that information and studies have been, uh, I guess for the lack of a better term, hijacked. We don't we can't trust the same sources that we used to be able to, and we can't trust our
Yeah.
phones anymore.
Yeah.
Like the because of like all the AI stuff. Like it's getting to the point where we can't even tell sometimes if we're looking at an AI video or not
Right.
because it's advancing so quickly. And I
Yeah.
think that is something like between that and identity theft and deep fakes and people's data being sold, like really, really Pluto and Aquarius and Gemini or Uranus and Gemini stuff. That is like directly playing into Neptune and Aries. So I think that's what we have to expect from Neptune being in Aries. But also a lot of because of that information, I think there's a huge risk of a lot of misguided action being taken. And like people I don't know, people trying to solve problems in ways that are not actually related to the problem. Yeah, just ne- s- starting at the wrong starting points, I should say. And
Um, Making things harder on themselves too.
right.
Like, yeah. Huh. No, that's interesting. Yeah, when I was asking about Neptune and the records with Aries, they definitely brought up like where people have not chosen themselves being made very
Mm,
clearly, especially
okay.
from leaving Pisces and going into Aries. Because yeah, again, that Pisces, very much easily like using myself as an example, like dissolving so much into like my partners. So yeah, it's like where all the ways that yeah, we stop choosing ourselves. And that'll always create a very unhealthy relationship.
You know,
Both
I,
people
I
have to keep choosing themselves every day.
you got a really good point there. A lot of like the sacrifice of the self like seems uh like it would be very prevalent here. Which like I mean that does play into Aries themes like in terms of like you know a lot of the speculation of like possible war in the future. Like that's very I think that's pretty on brand.
Yeah, and then the same goes to like I think I said this a little bit at the end of the last episode, but like where we have possibly like lost ourselves in belief systems or other people,
Mhm.
and learning to actually again like embody our practices as opposed to just talking about a thing or wishing about a thing or dabbling in it here and there. It's like, well, no, like now it's time to actually, like, how can you fully embody a Neptunian process in a way that is like more action oriented? And yeah, just
Okay.
like practicing more of what we preach. And yeah, like showing, yeah, again, like just showing that evolution through our actions, how we lead, how we show up in spaces and relationships, and like actually following through on our dreams, which I feel like we'll see a little bit more of that somewhat more easily while Saturn's also there to help us like build the thing.
Right.
So I think it really is wanting to work alongside of Saturn at this time to make that a little bit more possible because once Saturn leaves and it's just Neptune and Aries alone, that will definitely shift. But So to take advantage of this time while Saturn's also there, to build those foundations for whatever dreams you want to see actually happen in this lifetime. And again, yeah, like stop just talking about a thing. Oh,
Hmm.
stop waiting for that like permission slip or outside validation or like some sign from the universe. Again, all of that feels very like Piscean. It's like, I don't know, I'll just keep
Right.
floating around. Like, um,
Yeah, we're
and
done floating around.
yeah. And then this is where it got really spicy at the end. I was like, all right, Neptune and Aries is like, you want a sign? Well, here it is. It's me in Aries, like,
Ooh.
working with Saturn. So it's like, let's actually build something. So it really felt very much the energy right now is that like shit or get off the pot
Hmm.
moment for a lot of us.
Yeah, I like I wholeheartedly agree with that. Like entirely.
And
It
then,
very really resonates, I think.
yeah, I mean, I even feel it too with the, personally like that embodiment piece because now with it being in my eighth house, which can speak a lot to doing the shadow work or being in the underworld. And I'm like, well, I already spent the last 8 years living in the underworld. I was like,
Right.
so now, and I really feel like I'm already been like Persephone has risen for me. So it's like, oh no, it's like I've done it and I know how to do the work. That work never ends. I'm very realistic about that. But yeah, so it's like, how can I really embody it without losing myself
Hmm.
in that work?
Mm.
And without ever being like too afraid to like look into those places. But it really feels like the, yeah, like not losing me and like keeping those boundaries, not getting so lost in those emotional waters. Cause I definitely like, and this isn't a judgment on myself, but it's like I probably could have moved through it maybe a little faster. But whatever, it took me 8 years. It's whatever, it took the time it needed to take. But
Right. As it does.
yeah. But even I think having more boundaries with myself, like, okay, I'll let myself cry and be sad about it for a couple days, but okay, now it's time to like, all right, get up,
Hmm.
go do the thing. You still have to like take care of stuff. Yeah, and just how to say like no faster, trusting my like instinct more, not over like giving over processing, and even like choosing myself again too, like not getting lost in a relationship again. So if I do merge, because again, eighth house very much like merging with someone, sex, like finances. So yeah, it's like, can I actually, if I meet someone at this time in my life, can I not get lost in that
Right.
relationship this time, like for once, and finally like have healthy boundaries and like hold my own, like make my own money, be again, yeah, my own stability, like all of that feels very much prevalent for me. Like find my own safety within my have my finances really like locked down because that's very eighth house too. And I think over the years, because I keep thinking of legacy with my 10th house stellium. But yeah, if like money from other people's, like coming from doing retreats with other people, writing, my book, so getting money from publishing, like, or directing my own film, so having to get funding for those things, you know,
Yeah.
slowly building out a healing sanctuary, like over the next 10 years or so. So eventually I would need to get like funding for that project
Oh
to
my
break
God. Yeah.
ground. So a lot like all that feels very eighth house, especially in the healing like Neptune component of it, because writing, directing like movies,
Hmm.
healing stuff, like all of it to me is healing. It's just through different avenues. So it all feels
Right.
very Neptunian. But then again, the Aries part, yeah, like taking action. Like I feel I have talked about stuff so long, like even this podcast, I don't know how many years I've talked about doing a podcast. And I feel I was like, okay, stop talking about it, Sasha. Like either
Right.
do the thing or move on.
And you're doing the thing. Now you're doing the thing.
Yeah, so it's like the same I feel with everything else. Like, okay, I got to write a little bit like each day for the book if I want to do that. Scripts, like I just have, like, you have to actually put the work in and show up for the dreams and not just expect things to be handed to you or
Right.
some just miracle to happen that everything falls into place so effortlessly.
Yeah. And I mean Saturn being with Neptune there is like in Aries with Neptune, that's going to be so good for like keeping people realistic about their dreams right now too. Like
Yeah.
like if it was just Neptune, it's like oh, it's that's like things can be very idealized, but once Saturn gets in there, it's like all right, now we're talking business. So like it's
Yeah. Thank God. I'm really grateful that they came in together.
oh my God, I know. Jesus. That just Pisces or just Neptune there would be like help.
So yeah, I think it's such a great time to like take advantage of these next 2.5 years while Saturn's also in Aries to lay that groundwork, build out those main pillars for those dreams, projects, whatever it is you want for your life, that
Right.
foundation, like get your ducks in a row as best you can, like to really utilize it. Because yeah, it'll be a whole other vibe
Yeah. And like
when
I don't know,
when it does.
with everything in like fire and air,
And there.
there's not really the time for thinking about stuff is over. I mean, like
Yeah.
I guess we still have Jupiter for a little bit
Oh, in
in
Cancer. Yeah.
Cancer, and like at the time of like us recording this, it's still retrograde,
Yeah.
but that's I don't know, on its last hurrah, it's gonna give a few last minute gifts, and then the time for thinking is like it's go time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's already go time, but like Jupiter is really going to,
When it goes into
yeah.
Leo
Mm-hmm.
next. Yeah.
Yep.
Which that'll be
Well,
interesting. That's my 12th house, but I think that'll help me with writing, like channeling and all of
I
that.
mean, that's a pretty decent spot for Jupiter to be in. Like, I I like Jupiter in the 12th.
And that's your 6th house?
Yes, that'll be my sixth house. So I'm gonna, I don't know, I'll probably learn some stuff about my health. Maybe those chronic conditions I was talking about with that I'll be spending money on.
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't have a chronic condition yet, as far as I know. I'm just
Well, hopefully you won't. Maybe it'll just be about your work and how you are of service and
I would love that. I
more
would love
healthy
that.
routines.
I would love that so much.
I mean, I'm hoping that for myself since Pluto's in my 6 for the next couple decades. I'm like, we don't need to do bad health, do we?
Right. Geez, I got Pluto in my 12th now. Okay, whatever.
Whatever. I mean, we'll figure it out.
This,
We'll all figure it out and
I'm
just
just
take it
I'm just
one day at a time.
I'm just tired of having major transits in my 12th, I swear to God.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, it's fine. It'll be all right.
I know, but a lot of people, yeah, I've heard one of our teacher, Evan, saying like, ooh, Pluto transiting through the sixth. I would not. I was like, shut up,
It's
Evan.
like, it's like, all right, Evan.
That's enough. It's enough from you.
So you know in another timeline you're a Virgo rising.
I think that's what also saves us. Like you having Virgo sun, me, Virgo rising moon, like already having a lot of good, healthy habits and stuff,
Yeah. Oh my God,
already
if we
in
did.
place. Yeah. Otherwise, then I would be very scared with having those kinds of transits. But it's like, well, I've been taking care of myself forever. Like,
Yeah, same here. Well, not forever.
well,
I've been taking real good care of myself since like 20 beginning of 2022, and like I don't know, I take such good care of myself now that it's like, or I'm so particular about the ways that I care for myself now.
yeah.
A lot of people are just, they kind of see it as like almost like obsessive compulsive, or like along those lines, and it's like, no, I just like I I deserve to treat myself better than I did, and
Yeah.
I have a lot to make up for.
For.
I have a lot to make up for myself, or make up to myself, I should
Yeah.
say.
Right. No, I get that. Yeah. Totally. Well, awesome. Another great. I feel like we dove into a lot of nice areas of Neptune. Yeah, is there
Yeah, I
anything you can
think
think of
so.
that you need to share with people to prepare them?
Um, let's see. Um, well, uh, Neptune is, I mean, it is a really sacrificial planet, and like we at this time, I think there is a lot of need for people to be compassionate towards each other, like, and to be able to show up for each other. Like, I don't know, in the last episode we had talked about people like creating more spaces to be able to come together, and but when when we aren't able to rely on things in the same ways that we've been able to in the past,
Hmm.
sometimes we need to give to each other to be able to keep moving forward, and to we need to protect each other, and sometimes that does mean self-sacrifice, unfortunately. I'm not sure exactly what that entails for anybody, but like
Yeah.
in terms of Neptune and Aries,
Because,
I just mean find the compassion for each other, and find what you can do to help, is what I'm saying.
yeah. No, that makes sense. I mean, just even thinking on the more extreme versions, like when all these planets, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus in Gemini, and those in Aries, was during such big moments of war and battle. So it's like Aries is very much of those things, like courage, war, battle. But yeah, if you could be courageous and brave to help maybe others in need, if you have more at this time, but maybe without being like so self-sacrificing that you have to give your life. But
Right. And like above all, like you've we have all proven to ourselves at this point, uh after Saturn and Neptune moving into Aries, like from the years before that happened, like we've all proven that we can rely on ourselves. And so, trust yourself.
Yeah.
Before you trust anything, trust yourself.
Yeah. Trusting that Neptunian part of the, yeah, your own intuition,
Hmm.
psychic hits or nudges, or physical body nudges that are speaking to you. Yeah. Like really lean into that, which is also why it'll
Right.
be so important to actually be in your body
Yeah.
so that you can let that be your lighthouse and guide you, or like your North
Right.
Star.
We all have instincts for a reason, and so trust
Yeah.
them.
Trust them. Definitely. All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone who listened, watched, tuned in. Please like, subscribe, leave a review, comment, what have you. All of it truly, truly helps. And yeah, you can reach me. Probably the easiest would be Instagram, sasha.m.sheldon, or at sasha.morningstar. And Colin.
And you can find me at circleofanimalsastro.com. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram, where my handle is Colin Allen Astro.
Awesome. Well, thank you, buddy, for another great episode.
Yeah, it was a wonderful time meeting with you, as
And
usual.
yeah. All right. Then bye, everyone. See you next time.
Take care.